So next up we have Fight Like a Fae. Oh, Fight Like a Fae. Lyrics by Abby. Additional lyrics by Lizzie and Matthew Taranto. Music by Lizzie. Additional music by Matthew Taranto. Quoted music by Masakazu Sugimori. And piano, vocal, and orchestral arrangements by Lizzie. So brand new song for TAAAM. The goal, the intention was to give Maya a proper solo song that sort of sets her arc in motion, whatever that arc would end up being as we developed it. And I think I was the one who came up with the title Fight Like a Fae, riffing on I'll Be There. And I wrote like a document at some point that was like, here's maybe like the vibes of the song. Here's some of the stuff that it can set up so that, she has somewhere to go. That's the end of my involvement with the song.
I think I remember that the first pitch for this was actually like a duet that sort of brought in Make It Right. Like
Yes.
It was while she was talking to Phoenix in the detention center, which was a great idea.
There was a lot of talk about how do we connect this to make it right, if at all.
Yeah, like can
it's
it
the
like
same
go into
spot
it
in the
or...
show.
Exactly, but you wanted to keep Make It Right, of course. So it's like, how do we do both? And I remember someone suggested, I don't remember who, but making it like a solo before Phoenix comes in. And I remember being very struck by the idea of Maya getting to be alone on stage for a song, because Phoenix gets that and Edgeworth gets that, and there are 3 leads. So I immediately was like, yes, that has to be what it is. It has to be a solo. It has to be Maya alone. Don't pay attention to Maggie in the corner. It's fine. But like, that was kind of all we had. But we had the question earlier about how do you choose which parts to turn into songs?
Yes.
And there's several different ways to answer that, and I'll talk about the other ways later. But one of them is this kind of moment where, talking about Ace Attorney and Turnabout Musical specifically, we want to dig into a character or a character's journey, internal journey, in a way that is not present in the game. Something like Reawakening is kind of like that. Decree is obviously a big example of that. Justice for All even gives us a little bit more Mia.
And that was especially a big part of TAAAM's MO, to be like, this is a character-driven story first. It's not, we don't have to be bound by investigation day, court day, we don't have to follow the game structure in terms of
the fetch quests.
Why characters are going to locations and doing things.
And we could add things like
exactly.
TAAAM was less focused on being a really true and loyal interpretation of the game, so it opened up space for what is really headcanon, widely accepted headcanon in Maya's case, but it is, reading between the lines of what's going on with her, so this was a perfect spot for a song.
And it's a difference in adaptation styles between what fandoms were like in 2007, like adaptations are bad, we need everything to be the same, versus, well, we can change things if it gets deeper into the characters.
Yeah. So Lizzie, you want to...
So then Lizzie.
And then there was me. So I joined in September, and there was this big document, this Fight Like a Fae document that just had all kinds of stuff in it. It had like preceding scenes and the scene that was going to come after, and dialogue and different ideas of different dialogue that could happen, and ideas of, I don't know if there were lyrical ideas in there, but there was like an outline, like an emotional outline of like, this is Maya's arc that we want. This is where the song takes place in her arc, which is at the beginning because this is her intro. And there was like lists of like inspiration playlists and like songs from other musicals. And at the time we were like, Joel is Matthew Taranto's brother-in-law. Yes. So.
Oh yeah, that is some context.
A family tree.
There's a family tree.
Yeah, Try had offered to write one new song for TAAAM, basically. And so the whole time we were developing, we're like, what's it gonna be? And we thought it was gonna be Dawn, but then we wrote Dawn, and it was good. And we're like, well, maybe it should be something else.
So it was gonna be Fight Like a Fae. So in my brain, I was like, okay, they already have somebody who is going to write this song. That means I can just take this big old document and I can use it to write my own song, because I had never written a song before. And I was like, writing a song is scary, it's intimidating. But I had all this like groundwork. It was like a 20-page document. I had all of this stuff I could look at so I was like, I can write my own song, and then I'll know how to write songs. So that's what I did, and it was my first song that I ever wrote. And I showed it to the group because I wanted them to be proud of me. It was
And
like,
we were.
We
Were.
loved
look at
it.
this,
I still
look at
love
this
it.
song I wrote. And then
Well,
people were
and that
like,
version had the head up, back
Head up, back
straight,
straight.
motif,
Yes.
which we immediately put everywhere.
Everywhere.
yes. So
That was like
so
Maya's theme.
That was
Yeah,
Maya's
that
theme.
was
That is
Maya's
Maya's
theme.
theme. It really still
It
is
was-
in the show.
It had a very, very simple melody. It was quarter notes. They were on the beat. It was very like it was a very simple melody. It was like da 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 da. It was very simple.
I love it.
It was
But
beautiful.
it was fun and I liked it. And so people were like, we can just use this. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. So then it was like, I believe the idea was kind of, it was a very simple song and I didn't have a lot of experience and I wasn't really sure how to go about, like, when you write a song for a musical, you want to workshop it and like you can show it to the group and people are like, let's workshop this. I didn't have a lot of experience. I didn't really know how to like incorporate advice very well. And so we were like, Matthew Taranto is still like on the table to write us a song. We don't have any songs left for him to write. So why don't we just have him like go through and like revamp this song,
Kind
basically.
of like the reawakening.
Like
thing that he
Reawakening,
did.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the idea, was to kind of go like the awakening to reawakening pipeline. We were going to do the fight like a fae to the refight like a fae pipeline.
Fighting again
Rematch.
like a fae. No,
Rematch.
but I mean, one thing we're saying, like, we developed like that first version a lot. Like, there were lots of different drafts.
Yes.
Like the
Speaking of changing things without asking, I think I did a real lyric rewrite without asking, and I'm sorry about that.
You wrote an angry version of the bridge in Note Flight. This was
yes.
before.
Oh my god, it's my no flight era.
Yeah,
Note
this was
Flight
your
era.
Note Flight era
Yes.
before Muse Score. You wrote like a
Oh.
minor key version of the head up back straight stuff with angry
You
lyrics.
left, went off, you stood up and
Yeah.
paid the cost.
Yeah.
Fu-
Yeah.
Here for your career, you left me lonely, scared, and lost.
Yeah,
it was
Look
great.
inside of your scale, now my trust refused to fill. Is there
There's
some
some
way if I were more, would you have stayed?
Or is
Or
that
is this
gosh.
just how we fight?
us
Us
phase?
phase.
What, you think we don't remember this?
I
We
do.
loved these music. We
I
lived
know.
with
I
these
Fucking
songs.
saying that.
We
It's
lived
the
with
only
these songs
version I
for
think of. I'm
months.
so serious.
So we had this song. We really developed it. We fully orchestrated it, and I have it somewhere. It's like a full orchestration. Anybody who was at the table read, because we invited some guests to the 3-point whatever table
6-9.
read, 6-9 table read. Anybody who was at that table read heard that original version of FLAF.
Mhm.
So anytime you see anyone in the fan server who's like, "Can we hear the original version of FLAF?" That's why they're asking that.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's give this song to Matthew Taranto and he can revamp it. And he did revamp it. And that song is public now, I think.
Just in the fan server.
In the server, yeah.
Because he might reuse some of it for Bit Musical in future,
Yes. Yeah.
possibly.
If you want to hear Tries Fight Like a Fae, you should join the fan server. You can get a link to it from the Turnabout Musical link tree. Anyway,
It's got Sarah Taranto on vocals too. Which is
Yeah.
cool.
it does. It's very, very good. But the issue that we ran into was it is almost like a complete character arc for her. Like, she starts the song very, very sad and upset, and she ends the song very hopeful and very like, I can do this, like, let's go. And that was not what we needed for the character arc, I guess.
Yeah.
I have
it didn't-
often thought that it would fit really well in an original version of Turnabout Musical, like
Oh,
Yes.
for sure.
the like a
Mhm.
TM live,
Like
but
if-
you
like
put
if you
Tries
put-
Fight Like a Fae.
If you put it there, if you put it where like What Have I Done is in TAAAM,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that could roughly work, or maybe somewhere in Act 2. I don't know.
It fits her original character arc really well. We just had made a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Yes. And Try like wasn't in our server. He wasn't like
Yeah.
seeing all of it because he was, he was separate. He was like, I'm just gonna one more song.
One last job.
See, one last job.
It's
So
always
he
one last
wasn't
job
seeing
until
all
the
this
next
like
last
crazy workshopping we were doing to Maya's character arc. So he just kind of like, that was what he understood the assignment to be. And it that happens. It doesn't always end up meshing super well. So we were like, we wanted to explore different options. Like, should we do a mashup of the original version and the Try version? Should we just like tweak the Try version? what should we do? And I was like, I think I DM'd Abby and I was like, Abby, what if I just wrote a third song and just didn't use anything that we've previously written? But then we ran into the issue where we put that head up, back straight, because I'm staring down my fate. We put that everywhere. It was everywhere in the show by that point, and I was like, it's gotta be in there somewhere. And it's this intro that you see on screen right now is the intro to the song is head up, back straight, and then it modulates into a minor key because we're sad.
I wonder if people think of that motif as a "What have I done" motif, because that's where it comes out most strongly.
I don't know.
And if you do think that, surprise.
It was originally
It
here.
was Lizzie, and then
Lizzie
we liked
wrote
it
it.
so much that we put it
And I
there.
stole it.
It was
Fools.
yeah, it was like the bridge, or like the original FLAF didn't really follow a traditional song structure because I didn't really know
love
what I
that.
was doing. But it was just like, yeah.
It was very good. It was very
Thank
good.
you.
That's all I'm saying.
It was like
It
40.
was a journey.
It was a journey. Like 40% of the song was the head up, back straight thing. Like whatever.
It was good.
Yeah, I was like, what if I just redid the song? There was a part in the Matthew Taranto Fight Like a Fae that I like really like. When I first listened to it, I was like, that's really good. That's really good. Let me pull it up. This is why Try has a music credit on this song, because it is.
Is it the
It is
bridge, right?
No.
Oh, it's the.
Oh, it was also the bridge.
Yeah, it's yeah.
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 Yeah,
that was in
cannot
Try's
be
version.
what they
You
want
did
from
from
me.
me. Just those two measures. I pulled from Try's version. And then a little piece of the bridge. I'm still here despite it all. I'm alive. Just like those three measures, the guitar was part of Try's
Oh, it
song.
is!
And I
Yeah.
think part of what he was doing with that was like an inversion of "I'll Be There," like
Yeah.
thing. It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's pieces that live on
And there's
from all of them.
There's some like small lyric bits, like the you fought for truth and
Yes.
justice. I guess the truth and justice lost. Like that's
Oh, it's so
from
good.
Try's. Yeah.
It's tasty.
All flaps are good.
Tasty. So I wrote this new song from the ground. I composed it, and then I wrote a really iconic outline that I sent to Abby. I was like, Abby, this is the outline of the lyrics that I want. Can you write me some lyrics? And she wrote. The lyrics are so good.
They
I
are.
love the lyrics so much. It's a very, very silly outline that I gave her, and she ran with it.
May I narrate it?
Yes, you may narrate it.
Okay, this is the document handed to me by Elizabeth Lawrence. The title is "Big Sad Maya is Big Sad." (parentheses in song). Sister dead, mom gone, Grossberg coward, Nick not here yet. LOL. Hold your horses. Herself in jail. How we vibin'? We're not. Next heading: order of emotional events. Verse 1. Calm down. Don't panic. Lol. It's all good. Don't worry. Wait, but what if it isn't all good? No, don't think about that. That it's fine. But no, it's fine. Chorus. Really steady, kind of militaristic. Kind of like head up, back straight, listing off stuff she's supposed to do and how she's supposed to act. Verse 2. Life do be rough, though. This whole master thing and all that responsibility kind of sucks. If Mia hadn't left, literally none of this would be happening. And by the transitive property, if Misty hadn't left, then also none of this would be happening. Chorus 2. Bridge. IDK. Final chorus. Hey, life sucks, and I'm big, mad, and sad. Kind of inverse of a normal chorus. And then the final bullet point is just like the smiley face. It's like :D. Like, ah. So I think I'm kind of proud of how much I followed that.
Yeah.
So you
It
followed
was
that
very
really
helpful.
closely.
It was very helpful, Lizzie.
Thank you.
I want to also say, for reference, by this time, because this is late in the game, like the third FLAF is very late in the game. By this time,
Yes.
Abby and Lizzie, you guys had already written Max's song. You had written Everyone's a Star. You had written Acrobat's Waltz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
So I had a little bit more experience
Yeah.
going into
We
this.
got there. I
The
say feel like I was
evolution
involved.
of-
They got there.
The evolution
Max
of FLAF.
flew so Maya could cry.
Can we talk about that? I know that's not songwriting anything, but MJ Chastain crying
Oh,
for like
oh my
15,
God.
20
Oh
seconds.
Oh my god.
MJ.
I
MJ,
messaged MJ
MJ, if
after I
you're
left.
listening to this, I love you. I love
We
you
love
so
you.
much. You cry so good, baby girl.
Also, like, FLAF was kind of, like, the main FLAF was kind of earlier in the recording schedule, right? Because
no.
Well, no,
MJ's
'cause it
vocal
was-
take came in.
No.
No?
It was late because Lizzie talked about this earlier. Like, it wasn't done yet, so I put it towards the end of the recording schedule, I think.
Yeah, it was MJ turned
right?
in. She actually asked for an extension because there was a hurricane happening where she
yeah.
was living. But
Which
she
is funny, 'cause
actually,
I did the first demo in a thunderstorm, so
Mm.
but she ended up recording it on time. She didn't need the extension, and she turned in her file on September 30th, which is my birthday. And I remember
Aw.
I got to listen to "Fight Like a Fae" by MJ Chastain on my birthday.
It might
It was
have
very
been, Max,
exciting.
what you're thinking of is some of the callbacks got shared by our cast members after they were cast.
Maybe.
They were like, here's what we recorded. So I think
Because, like, no one,
MJ's
no
Fight Like a
one,
Fae.
no one in the cast and crew knew about Fight Like a Fae except for those callback from Maya until
Yes.
Correct.
until
Yes.
the day when everyone was cast. Everyone came into the server and the demo folder was unlocked.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, the evolution of this song reminds me a lot of Tomorrow's Trial into
Oh,
Tomorrow
yeah.
at Last,
Oh
actually,
yeah.
which I can talk about way later. But how very different takes on the same moment got transformed into like something else that still has callbacks.
Yeah. The actual construction of the song is pretty typical. This was a lot later in the production cycle, so I was very much like, I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm gonna use the instruments that I want to use. So it's mostly just strings and oboe and French horn, because I like them. And I'm pretty sure that's all there really is to it. That's the big Fight Like a Fae story.
And it
We
was a
love
good
FLAF.
song. It's one of the biggest hits from TAAAM, and for good reason.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there was the piano part in the last chorus. You stood up and paid the costs. I guess that truth and justice lost. I based that on Kara's theme from Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, baby girl, let's go! Let's fucking go!
Did not expect that.
This was like, I'm doing what I want.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like the very start, like I remember you saying like the very start of the whole opening monologue of like the, you know, I remember the smell of sage, I feel my body going numb, like that was all inspired by Into the Unknown, right?
No, it was
Next
No.
the
Best
other.
Thing.
Oh, the
Yeah.
next best thing. That's
The next right, yeah.
Right thing.
The
That's
next
right
right
thing.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Was
me who has not seen
original-
Frozen 2.
Original FLAF was based
Cool.
on The Next Right Thing.
Yeah.
Which is a
Vibe-wise.
great touch point. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
good call.
Yeah.
And that's it for me.
All right, next song.
Bonk.
Make it right
back.
to S tier. So lyrics here are McKeel Van Bell, because they are pretty much all just the original lyrics that are reused. Additional by Arri. We have music by Arri and Sarah Taranto, because this one, you know, is built out of a lot of the
So many versions.
so many versions,
Oh,
but
it's-
primarily I think the 2016
Yeah.
Make It Right, which is Arri.
Yeah.
Additional music by Diana Heslin, quoted music by Lizzie, Sugimori, Matthew Taranto. Then we have Abby on piano vocal arrangement and orchestral arrangement, Abby and Arri.
Yeah, Make It Right, just like historically, was like the lyrics and by McKeel Van Bell, and then Sarah Taranto made the first melody and like piano arrangement, and then I think a rearrangement in 2008 maybe. I don't think that was the first version.
It's one of the earliest songs.
It's
in the history
early,
of the show.
yeah.
For sure.
And then Diana rearranged it, and that's the one that's on the original soundtrack for Turnabout Musical.
That's right.
But it was really, really hard to sing to live. So for Turnabout Musical Live, I rearranged it
Yeah.
so that it would be easier to sing. And I think I rearranged the vocals like a little bit here and there for that one. And then
Right.
that was kind of our basis for the two Make It Rights. Specifically this one,
Yeah.
which Abby did the first part of the orchestral arrangement and then kind of handed it off to me, and I just like filled it out a little bit.
That cello at the beginning of this one
Oh yeah,
forever lives in my soul.
yeah.
And then I was very annoying and asked for Sarah Taranto's 2008 ending after the lead. After the main
It
part of
sounds
it.
great. I'm so bad at transcribing chordal instruments by ear, so I just want you to know I fought so hard for that for you.
Thank you.
Like
thank you.
I worked.
I think I listened to it for the first time driving, because I remember listening to it for the first time on the road back from Minneapolis in what would have been 2022. I don't know
could
if
be, yeah.
I don't know if the timeline matches up at all like that, but I do have a memory of that and being like, wow, this feels like such a gift.
When I think it was, I think actually what it was is I had written it with kind of the second ending that still is in here. It has two endings.
Two endings. Yay!
I had
The
written
one
it
from
with that,
2008 and the one
then-
from
Gosh,
2016.
Billy.
And then Abby was like, hey, Max really loves that 2008 ending. Can you put that in? And I was like, oh, yeah, I think.
Fuck it, sure.
I mean, it's basically just built out of the detention center theme.
It is, but chords, man.
Which I didn't realize for the longest time.
But yeah, it's cool. This one was fun. There's a lot of like head up, back straight in here. There's the whole, Abby put in the whole since Mia passed on part of I'll Be There, which I love that.
And there was a longer version of this too, which had
Yes.
some more singing. That was actually, it was based on old FLAF, wasn't it?
Oh, it was.
It was.
Yep.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have no recollection of that.
It's,
I've
I found it when I was
Really
looking at
gone.
it the other day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this one.
But yeah, I think these little bite-sized pieces of Make It Right ended up really nice little bookends.
Yes.
I like this part where Maya has agency and
Oh
asks
yeah,
for it.
the way that we built, the way that this got built, where it's Phoenix's line, because in the original this is a counterpoint.
Yes.
This is another one we split apart, where it's Phoenix
Yep.
starting. I know you don't quite trust me yet. I know this may sound trite, which is just such a wonderful moment. Oh yeah, at one point I had like a lot more written out. At one point I used like the original Phoenix verse, and then I wrote a version that was just Maya, like brand new lyrics that were not any good. And then this is all you need. It's I know you don't quite trust me. I know this may sound trite, and then Maya jumps in with the please represent me. And then I promise I'll make it right. I think is from Nikhil's original.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Maya jumping in, I don't remember if this was like the inspiration or just like it is a coincidence, but I think in the anime there's something like
Yes,
this where they
yes.
say it at the
They
same
say it at the
time.
same
Same
time.
time.
Yes.
They like really build that emotional moment, which isn't really
Yes.
the case in
A
the,
great
in the
moment.
game. Mhm.
Listen, the anime gets some rights, all right?
Yep.